Hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right, Pisces, let's take a look at what Pisces doesn't see coming. And actually, that feels like the wrong deck from my hands. And I really do love this one. So let's bounce here. All right, Pisces, let's see. Pisces, I'm trying to remember. I believe there is another. I was working through all of the zodiacs. And Pisces, I didn't get you guys a what's on their mind message. I will aim to get you guys one of those still this week, because that's a rollover from last week that I think you guys missed out on. Okay. So we have the awakening sideways, but this is what Pisces doesn't see coming. I really feel more drawn to that storytelling right now. This is judgment card in any other deck, but it's sideways. So what Pisces maybe doesn't see coming is something that Pisces is thinking about Pisces as well. Someone that Pisces is thinking about, so we have two angels in the sky. We have synchronicity. This card has no, typical reflection in the tarot. This is just an additional card in this deck. We have the Four of Swords and we have the Nine of Cups. What Pisces doesn't see coming is a chance to really heal things, and even maybe a change in the fact that maybe Pisces wouldn't have guessed that they would be excited about this as well. Sometimes characters can be shocked or surprised or delighted to discover that something that might not have been, something they would have wanted 6 months ago or 3 weeks ago even. Suddenly it clicks, and bumping into somebody at the right time in the right place, even though it was like, oh no, we'll never talk again. And then that feeling can soften, or this actually looks really, really happy. We have the Devil. I'm wondering if there's going to be a shock that there's still so much passion and desire between Pisces and another person. I mean, that's really what this is looking at, or looking like as I see this. Okay, Two of Cups. This could be a storyline that Pisces almost thought, there's no way that either myself and this person are going to see each other again. And then instead, there's this unexpected reconnection. And it's not only good, it's crazy good. Almost like maybe Pisces and this person didn't realize how into each other they actually would be, or what kind of an incredible comfort zone they have. This could be anything from a first date, and then it just kind of fizzles and nothing happens, and then they bump into each other at another time, another point in time, and it's like, I have been thinking of you lately. It doesn't feel like two people who had a fight or an argument per se. It feels like two people who, by the way, it could be Scorpio, could be Capricorn that Pisces was dealing with, or almost any other zodiac with that synchronicity card. But it more feels like two people who didn't expect to feel this kind of way about each other. This was not on the radar. This was not ever what was anticipated. And then bumping into each other again. Let me ask, what are the circumstances for seeing this person again? It feels unintentional, but perhaps I'm wrong. But with that synchronicity feels very unintentional. We have the Star, we have the Seven of Cups, we have the Inspiration of Cups. Okay, so somewhere deep down in the back of Pisces' mind and in the back of their mind, they both actually had wished that they would encounter each other again. Because of that Four of Swords, this says that there was silence, and maybe there was some healing. Maybe this is two people who had an argument of sorts. Maybe this is two people that really rubbed each other the wrong way, or it just doesn't look like anybody's coming in to apologize, perhaps. This can be an apology card, but it looks more just like, I don't know, it feels like Pisces and another person were both at, whatever the falling out was. Enough time elapsed. Neither person really thought the other was a villain, and then both have started to think about each other prior to seeing each other. And it could be an unexpected location that they see each other. We do have the beach here. Maybe this is on a cruise. Maybe this is something totally wild and crazy. It's, I can't believe, what do you mean you're here too? I don't know why this comes to mind, but I'll say it anyway. I was traveling once, and it was years, and I'm talking years, probably 6 to 8 years since I had been back through this area. And I mean, I was living in a different state. I mean, a whole different life. And I bumped into somebody at all things at a gas station in a state that I didn't live in. And I bump into this, it was a couple that I knew once upon a time, and it's through business. So it's not like we were close friends or anything, but and they recognized me, and I was blank for like about 3 seconds. And then I was like, oh my God, because it was so out of place and it was so unexpected, and those things happen sometimes in life where you don't expect to bump into somebody in a different location many, many years later. And it's just such a funny and delightful, experience. But I'm almost picturing something like that. I'm not saying that Pisces is going to bump into this person at a gas station or necessarily like on a cruise or something like that, or at the beach, but something where in truth, they both called this into happening because they both started to think about each other. And I feel as if instead of, they didn't let go of each other with this awakening card, they let go of any obstacle that there might be toward encountering each other again. Almost like both people thought it could be really nice to see them again. I wonder how they're doing. And the universe was like, perfect. I hear you two would like to meet again. Not a problem. The only thing is, I feel like it's instant chemistry. Passion, desire, there's some kind of, and I don't even know if they were this passionate about each other before. Is this somebody that Pisces would have been all kinds of hot and bothered over in the past, or is this kind of a new level? We have Four of Pentacles sideways. No, I kind of feel like this is one of those situations that, perhaps these characters, never had that level of intense passion before, because I do feel like the dynamics are shifting. It almost feels like it was a failure to launch kind of situation in the past. They never got to like romance, or certainly never got to like that really profound, attachment to each other, even if there had been romance, because this says both people were still kind of holding back. It was, and if you look closely at this Four of Pentacles, it's like the tree of life needed to keep growing, and these two would catch up later. They would have a chance later, which is what this whole story has been about. Definitely, it feels like Pisces and this person are going to meet in a distant location because of that star card, but they've both thought about it. Can I get any specifics on who is this person? Can we see anything about them? I'm just looking for details on them right now. The World in the reverse, the Devil upright. So definitely could be Capricorn, because we are rocking the Capricorn energy. This could be somebody who somehow, like, there was always unfinished business. Somebody could like to gamble. They could work in a casino. They could be really good at cards or poker. I'm also picturing like any kind of the billiards games. I'm actually picturing like a pool shark or something. Pisces may have met this person once upon a time. They may really like Pisces, in kind of like, I don't know, I feel like there was a very sensual quality to the first meeting here. I don't know if Pisces was, wearing something a little provocative or something along those lines, but let me tell you, they have never stopped thinking about Pisces. Pisces might have been wearing black, and that might be like their color. Pisces may look very sharp in something black. There could be like somebody who wears a body necklace or body chain also. That could be Pisces. Also could have some piercings. We have Eight of Pentacles and we have Ace of Swords. It's so wild because there's this interesting blend of devil and angel, super pure, but then also really sensual. And it feels like, I don't know if somebody's grandmother was present when they first met. I don't know if this was like Pisces and this character met at a certain point in time. Maybe it was through a work element or something. It could also have been two people worked like with the elderly. I don't know. Was it like a casino night, like at a retirement home or benefit concert or something like that? They may be very close to an elder in their family. They could also be quite wealthy. That Eight of Pentacles can speak of wealth and inheritance coming in from an ancestor, particularly a strong grandmother figure. This could be like a situation where even though there's spice and this person certainly has strong attraction for Pisces, they could also suffer with a little bit of addiction or something. And that could be something that, you know, they had to get on the straight and narrow before like a grandmother figure would like gift them an inheritance or something. And it almost seems like they have cleaned up their life. I know those are all like weird, very specific things, but it kind of feels as if there is some element here where, you know, they're well loved by a family, but they also had to, you know, take charge of their life a little bit. We have the Chariot, and this could be someone who, it doesn't matter what gender we're talking about. They've come across as a lot of divine feminine energy, but they could be a masculine just in their feminine energy, meaning they have a wonderful like nurturing energy and a gravitational pull. Basically, this feels like a person who could have a very sweet heart, and they could have also had some of their own, you know, addictions or certain things that they had to overcome. And as they've done all of that, as they've worked really hard on this, I almost feel like it makes them that much stronger. Like this person could be more like a health nut now because they're like, nope, I get my highs through, you know, exercise and, you know, living a healthy lifestyle. Like they could really be someone who's dedicated themselves to like moving their life forward. So it could be very strong-willed character. They worked really hard to take charge of their life. But I also feel like they've had some good support network around them. Can I see, how do you feel about Pisces? Once again, we have that Four of Pentacles. Maybe all that little tidbit of the story is part of why they couldn't have been with Pisces before. Maybe there was a blockage there. Maybe they were like, you know, maybe Pisces wasn't going to have any of it if they were still dealing with some kind of toxic attachment or something. And that could also maybe explain why there was distance and why there was maybe a failure to get a relationship off the ground and why there's been some healing. And in the past, how did you feel about Pisces? Page of Pentacles. Pisces was a breath of fresh air to them as well, and somebody that they had a nice rapport with right out of the gate. Pisces also represented like a little bit of magic in their life. But again, like I said, they may have been struggling at that point in time, struggling to get some other things, you know, worked out in their life. Six of Cups. Even then, they knew Pisces was a soulmate. I kind of feel like they put it in their mind that someday, you know, God willing, I'm gonna make my way back into that Pisces world, or I sure hope that I meet that Pisces again later, you know, when I've got myself sorted out. They may think of Pisces as being an older soul than them. I definitely feel like Pisces has a mature, smoky, sensual component to them, and this person is very taken with Pisces, like the way Pisces dresses, the way Pisces does their hair, the way Pisces, you know, like conducts themselves. Yeah, Seven of Pentacles, but they almost feel like they had to grow up before they could be with Pisces. And I say that just because they are the ones saying it. They felt kind of immature next to Pisces empowerment and Pisces, you know, certain swagger. Like they wanted to step up, but they knew it was going to take them some time. So can I just ask this then? Were you planning on bumping into Pisces? Were you hoping to bump into Pisces? Like how did this play out? Two of Swords, the World, and the Queen of Cups. They thought many times about reaching out to Pisces, but it was never quite the right time. And now it's like Pisces is going to walk right into their world. Again, with that Capricorn energy. We got Capricorn all over this. And here's Pisces, again, looking devastatingly attractive. There's something about the way Pisces dresses. I don't know if Pisces tends to like leave a couple of extra buttons unbuttoned, you know, has like collared shirts with little more cleavage showing or what, but Pisces has a certain glamorous but sophisticated but sexy way of dressing in this storyline. Now, if Pisces is a masculine, I would still argue that there's always like something about Pisces that is a combination of just the right amount of sexy and alluring with still being so dignified. And I just feel like there's this natural, like very like animal magnetism that comes off of our Pisces, and they are so drawn to that. But it's so crazy because Pisces walks right into their world. So I definitely feel like this is serendipitous. Can we see anything else about how Pisces bumps into this person, walks into their world? Three of Cups could be while Pisces is out doing something fun, shopping, spending time with friends, out and about. But it certainly feels like, again, this seems serendipitous. I don't think that there was any subconscious plan in this. I don't think it's like, oh, well, my friend of their cousin brought us together. Mm-mm. They're by themselves. Pisces is likely with one or two other people when they encounter this person. You know, I gotta say, this feels like I feel like they're going to be flooded with, again, that amazing like awareness that, oh my God, I have wanted to see that Pisces again. And then it's almost like a dream. Their eyes could show exactly what they're thinking, which could be a combination of desire and hunger and delight at seeing Pisces again. And also this really obvious, sincere closeness, like, oh my God, of course I had to see you again. I've always wanted to see you again. I feel like that's what this person's mantra is. I hope I get to see that Pisces again. I need to see that Pisces again. Even though I still am going to argue that they had some things in their life that they had to get control of. They had to get a handle on themselves before they could ever interact with Pisces again. So that's what Pisces doesn't see coming, is an unexpected, like walking into somebody's world that they have never forgotten Pisces. They have always hoped to see Pisces again. Good luck to these two. It feels like there's a lot of attraction still, and it feels, because of that Four of Pentacles, like this was kind of a relationship that was always saved for later, and maybe now is later. All right, you guys, thanks so much for being here. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Really appreciate you.